I really want you to enjoy this hobby, and to do that I'm going to teach you proper technique, because when I teach you this technique I'm going to show you how it leads to safe carving, and then that leads to having some fun at a hobby that you can enjoy the rest of your life. On the knife you'll receive in your Quick Start carving kit, you'll notice that there are notches on each side of the handle. These are thumb notches. I made this Quick Start kit as affordable as possible so you can give chip carving a try. And if you stick around to the end of this video, I'll even show you how to get free shipping. Lay the knife with your fingers open and just gently curl your fingers around the handle of the knife, and then take the joint of your thumb and put that joint right into the notch on the handle, so it looks like that. Not the tip of your thumb, the joint. Okay, so the joint fits right into that notch, and then when you put your thumb down on the board and your first knuckle, you'll see that an angle is formed between the knife and the surface of the wood. This thumb notch will register a consistent angle time and time again. And that's what chip carving is about. It's about consistent cuts at the same angle that you repeat time and again, over and over. So that thumb notch there, you lock the joint of your thumb into the handle and you never take it off. It stays just like that. And as long as your thumb is in contact with the handle of the knife, there's no way you can cut your dominant hand. Alright? You can't cut your thumb, you can't cut your fingers, because they're always in contact with the handle. Once your thumb gets free from the handle of the knife, now it's fair game. So that's not safe carving. That's why I say always keep your thumb in contact with the handle. That's safe carving along with good technique. Now your other hand that you're going to be holding the wood with that you'll be carving, always keep your fingers behind the sharp edge of the knife. In case you were to slip, now you can't cut your non-dominant hand. So we don't want our hand down here where you slip and you can cut your fingers or your thumb. Instead, always keep that hand behind the sharp edge of the knife. Alright, so keep those 2 points in mind. You'll have good technique and it'll lead to safe carving. Your Quick Start kit came with 4 items to carve. The lighter colored pieces are basswood. We're going to set those aside for now. And the first piece we'll carve is this one, which is on a piece of easy board. Alright, this is high density urethane, doesn't have any grain to it, and it's a little bit softer than basswood, so it's a great way to start and a great way to build your chip carving technique. Alright, so set the others aside and we're going to use this piece to carve. Now you can carve on your lap or on a tabletop, and it's best if you get your shoulders over the top of your work. It just helps you get a little more depth on your cuts that's needed. If you put it on your lap, put a bigger board across your lap and set this on top of it. Alright, it's another safety measure. In case you slip off of this piece, you'll slip onto the bigger board instead of onto your lap. Alright, so this is the pattern we'll start with. And I'm going to show you, we're going to start with these cuts around here. Okay? Lock the joint of your thumb into the notch on the handle. This is the technique we'll use. Now one thing I'll mention as we get started, it's a small block, so there may be the time when your knuckles will hang off the edge. That's where you can grab the other block and put it alongside for a wider base. The first chips we'll remove are these little ones in the center of these two on the outside. This is a two-sided chip, one cut on this side and the other cut on the opposite side. And here's how it's done. We'll start here. Notice my thumb's down and my knuckles down on the board. It starts very shallow, gets a little bit deeper with the knife, and then finishes right there. Okay, and then you turn your board around, and we start here, very shallow, and then draw the knife towards you, and that removes the chip. Okay, one cut in one direction, the other cut in the opposite direction, with your knife held the exact same way for both cuts. Let's do another one. One cut like that, and the second cut in the opposite direction, same way, like that. Okay? I'll show you one more, and then it's time for you to try yours. There's the first cut, and there's the second cut. Now if your chip does not come out, don't pry it out. Instead, go over the first cut lightly and the second cut lightly until it comes out. Okay, pause the lesson right here and go ahead and try a few of these two-sided chips. So how'd it go on the first few chips that you took out? If it went okay, go ahead and continue and remove all the two-sided chips like I've done here. If you need to pause the lesson again, go ahead and do so, and then come back and join us when you've got all these removed around here. Next, we'll remove these two-sided chips, all right, all the way around this pattern. We're going to take the inside of the crescent moon shape first. Okay, so notice my knife is angled away from the chip that I just removed. Okay, so I'm starting here. These are a little bit wider, so that means my knife needs a little more depth through the widest part of the chip. Turn your board after the first cut is made, and now we'll start on the outside and draw the knife around. Notice I'm turning the board, and I stop right there. Now I'm turning on a Lazy Susan turntable. If you don't have one, that's not a problem. Instead, just on your lap, turn the board so it slides on the tabletop or on your lap board. Okay, either way works just fine. And here's how it's done again. The first cut on the inside of the crescent moon shape. Little deeper through the center as it gets wider. And then turn the board. And now the outside cut again, there's a little deeper right there with the cut, and draw it out at the end. I'll show you one more, and then you can pause the lesson and try these yourself. Notice my thumb is always in contact with the knife handle, and my knuckles will stay in contact with the surface of the wood to form a consistent, uniform angle, just like that. All right, go ahead and pause and remove all those chips around this pattern. If you're having trouble making smooth cuts, it's most likely due to the position of your board and not turning it along with your knife to make the cut in a continuous, sweeping motion. That's what will result in a smooth cut. Next, we'll remove these chips, the long ones. Okay, they're not much wider than the ones you just removed, except the cut is a little bit longer. Again, we'll take this inside cut first, so our knife is angled away from this chip in the center. First cut, just like the last one you made, a little bit wider there, and you finish at that point right there. Then turn the board, and we start here. And finish right there. Okay, let's do another one. All right, so go ahead and pause the lesson and work on these large chips until you come all the way back to this point in our pattern. All right, those are all the two-sided chips around the center of the pattern. And what you should have learned as you remove these is proper technique in holding the knife. With your thumb against the notch of the handle and your knuckle on the wood, that consistent angle on both sides of the chip, and it should come out if you have the proper depth. Now sure, they won't all come out perfectly clean. That's where it takes some practice until you get the right depth and feel, and then they start coming out real nicely. Okay, so that's what we learned already around here with just this first few minutes of chip carving. Next, we'll remove these 3-corner chips in the center of the pattern. All right, so these are made with 3 cuts just around the outside of the line. All right, I'll show you one, and then we'll remove all 4 of them. First cut, we can start right here. It starts shallow. There's the deepest part of the cut, and we draw it out a little bit. So right in the center of the triangle, I'll make a dot to show you. Right there. That's the deepest part on these 3-cornered chips, right in the center of the triangle. Okay, now we turn the board and we'll make the second cut where we start where the last one left off. And that's the second cut right there. And then the third cut. Okay, that's removing a 3-corner chip. Notice my thumb didn't leave the wood. My knuckles stayed down, so I have 3 consistent angled cuts. Let's remove the next one. One cut, 2, and there's the third cut to remove the chip. It doesn't really matter on Easy Board where we start these cuts. I can start in the center and work my way around the triangle. Okay, now it's your turn. Go ahead and pause the video and remove those 4 3-corner chips in the center. Now we're ready to remove this corner part of the pattern. We're going to start with these lines around the outside. And we'll make the first cut on the outside of the lines. All right, this is a perfect time to take the other piece of easy board and slide it alongside your piece. Okay, I'll start right here. These aren't very wide, so you don't need very much depth at all. And continue it all the way down to the point. All right, then turn. And now we'll start where we left off. It's a little hard to see. It's right there. And very shallow because it's not very wide. And from there, we'll take the inside cuts to remove the chips. Now watch where we start these cuts. I don't start right at the corner here. Instead, you have to start way up here where this cut is that I made down this way. That's where you start this cut, right up there. And then come on down and remove the chip, and you have to finish all the way on the outside, just like that. Start way up there and come all the way down till it comes out. The inside of this corner part, we have a two-sided chip in here, like you're removing these, a crescent moon shape, and then two little three-corner chips. All right, we'll take the bigger chip, which is this crescent moon shape first. You've had some practice on these. Now this one's a little wider, so you need a little more depth right through the widest part. And then turn the board. To there. And then two of the three-corner chips. Now make the first cut on these, make it angled away from this bigger chip. The reason being, we don't want to have this chip out accidentally if we cut too deep, angled towards the chip we already took out. So make the first cut right here, away from the big one, and then followed up with two more cuts. Okay, so that's the corner design. So go ahead and pause the video and remove all four of the corner designs. In just a few minutes, you learn proper chip carving technique. Now, wasn't that fun? Look at the design you created, removing just two-sided and three-corner chips. It's really quite beautiful. This easy board is a wonderful material to get started on. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe, click the bell button so you're notified when any new videos are posted here. And visit the My Chip Carving website to pick up your Quick Start chip carving kit. I mentioned that if you stuck around to the end of this lesson, I'd tell you how to get free shipping on your Quick Start kit. Enter this code in the coupon code area at mychipcarving.com when you've placed the Quick Start Kit in your shopping cart. If you enjoyed this video, I've got 3 requests of you. First, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Second, leave a comment below. And third, why don't you share it with somebody you know who'd enjoy this video as well.